Poppington. Ooh. Okay. My name is Takara Yvonne. You can call me Takara, you can call me TK, you can call me T Money. So today I wanted to go ahead and get into something that I've always struggled with and that has always affected me in school settings and work settings, and I've always beat myself up about it. I actually got some inspiration when I was watching a Heinz video, which if you've never seen a Heinz video, I highly recommend it. He's just really good at getting you in a good headspace, and he just makes really good, positive, and encouraging videos. But he was, I think it's a video titled like "I slept all day" or something. I don't know, I'll link it, but he talked about procrastination in that video, and basically he said that procrastinating may not always be the worst thing in the world if it works for you. And as long as you're effective and you know that you can get something done in a certain amount of time, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And instead of spending all your time stressing out about stuff, maybe you should spend more time kind of just like relaxing and prepping for that work that you may not want to get to right away.
But some pressure we need to release, understand, and that's an opportunity as well to learn how to truly nourish ourselves in these moments.
His video inspired this because it started getting me thinking like, yeah, like procrastination kind of isn't a bad thing if you really think about it, but I might be wrong. So let's take a look at some science. Okay, this technically isn't science, it's like, I don't know, research, but I just wanted to get into some background before I get more into the topic to see if I'm right. Like, is procrastination good? Is it bad? We don't know, but I'm gonna look it up really quick. And then after we find what we find, then we'll get more into some stuff, but let's see what we can find.
Hey y'all, so I want to just bring up a few things before we get started. So the first thing is I have a blue tongue because I had Gatorade before I did this video. Okay, also there are going to be noises in the background, I apologize. And also I only did one source because I didn't want the video to be even longer than I knew it was going to be. And the last thing is I am going to be often shifting my eyes, partially because of nervousness, also partially because I'm looking at a lot of different like notes in my laptop and stuff to make sure I'm on track. So just wanted to point that out. Enjoy the rest of the video.
So I found this article titled "Procrastination or Intentional Delay." See what they did there? I like that. I like that a lot. The article is on the American Psychological Association's website. I'll have the article linked down below. But Jin Nam Choi is a business professor at Seoul National University in South Korea. He differentiated between two types of procrastinators: passive procrastinators, who postpone tasks until the last minute because of an inability to act in a timely manner, and active procrastinators, who prefer the time pressure and purposely decide to delay a task but are still able to complete tasks before deadlines and achieve satisfactory outcomes. So they found that although active procrastinators reported the same level of procrastination as their traditional or passive counterparts, they demonstrated a productive use of time, adaptive coping styles, and academic performance outcomes that were nearly identical to, and in some cases even better than, those of non-procrastinators. Delay and procrastination are not the same things. Let's not confuse deliberate, thoughtful delay of action with the lack of self-regulatory ability known as procrastination. This article is saying that people who do not procrastinate do have more success in school despite many people claiming that they work best under pressure. Ultimately, procrastination is bad, and being intentional with your time and intentionally delaying things, not freaking out about it, but just saying, hey, this is how I work best. Those are two separate things. And so technically, yes, procrastination is bad. No, that's not what we wanted here. All right, it's not what we wanted, but it's fine. Let's continue. This article got me thinking about how perception and being in tune with your intention is key to deciphering whether or not it's healthy to leave things until the last minute. For years, I was a procrastinator and I still struggle with it. I've started changing the way I perceive last minute work, and it's done wonders for me. A big part of why people feel shame is the pileup of stress from condemning themselves for waiting to work. And it's like, not only do I feel incompetent, causing me to procrastinate, but procrastinating in itself is bad, and it's this avalanche of intrusive thoughts that stem from it. I've realized recently how powerful being kind to yourself is. I started making myself realize that I get the work done regardless, so why stress myself out up until the point that I work? As long as I get it done, that is what matters in the end. We're pressuring ourselves to be perfect because we see all of these people around us seemingly being productive and having enough energy to do whatever it is that they want. But if that is not us, then that's okay. Like, we should all embrace who we are naturally and work with that. I've also been reading this Brene Brown book. The title is Leaving Me Right Now, but I'm gonna put like a little picture of it up here and tell you the title. I believe it was the introduction of the book. She actually was talking about this. Brene actually brought up procrastination and how if you're not gonna do what you're supposed to be doing or what you want to be doing, then the least you could do is not spend your time stressing and freaking out, and you shouldn't spend your time doing things that aren't gonna feed, you know, your mental health or your soul. Like, do something with your time that is gonna be helpful.
Hello, it's editing me again. So I am back because I want to clarify something. So what I mean by something that's helpful is anything that will help you take that anxiety away. That way, when you do come back to whatever you work on, you feel better and you feel ready to tackle whatever it is. It's all about intention. So if you are feeling super anxious, and from you feeling super anxious, it's making you feel sleepy, take a nap. Or if you just don't want to occupy your time with what you want to do with your work right now, then what makes you happy when you occupy your time with that? Is it playing video games? Is it binging your favorite show, like you watching YouTube? What is it? Like, do something that's going to fulfill you, make you happy, make you less anxious, take you out of that mindset, and then that's when you can go ahead and be like, okay, I spent this amount of time doing this, or maybe you spent the rest of the day doing it, and so now you have to carry that task over into the next day. But either way, you're like, all right, like I feel like I can tackle this now, instead of it being like, you know, I not only avoided doing my work, but I spent time doing things to avoid my work that ended up not helping me feel better. Like, oftentimes to avoid doing work, we scroll on Instagram for like 5 hours, right? And even in the book, Brene Brown said that she would scroll on Facebook, but you know, we don't really use Facebook like that, so that's why I used Instagram. But you know what I'm saying? But like, honestly, how good do we feel after we sat there on Instagram for 2 hours? Not that great. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you do avoid your work, don't even think about it as avoiding something. Think of it as, you know what, clearly I'm not in the right mental state to start working on this. And so I'm going to go ahead and do something that makes me feel better, makes me feel good, and gets me mentally prepared to do this. I'm still going to practice discipline by, you know, starting to work on this in time for me to complete it. But I'm not going to force myself to if that's clearly not in the mindset that I'm in. So that's what I want to clarify. Sorry that this explanation was kind of long. Didn't expect that, but that's what I meant.
If you are going to kind of let the time pass, do it in a way where by the time you come back to your work, you're ready to go because you're kind of like gassed up now. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's going to be different. You know, it's all about the mind and it's all about intention. I received a lot of pressure, not just from myself, but I just feel like from others, like parents and things like that. And it kind of just made me withdraw. It made me not like school anymore. It made me not really want to try. I feel like a reverse psychology thing kind of happened, and I just feel like I wasn't going to be good enough. And it just made me leave things to the last minute and freak out. I only recently started having a more positive outlook on I literally wrote down in my notes, it took me some years, but I realized that I bring it every single time. And I think that's what's most important. Like I do, even over the years, even when my grades haven't been the best, I still push through and I got it done, you know? So I've never had to like retake a class. I've never had to, you know, I've always gotten there at bare minimum. I've always gotten there. Realizing certain things like this is super important. It kind of gets you back on track and it makes you realize that you are not just a product of your environment or how everyone else has made you feel or even how you've made yourself feel. Sometimes you should do research like this just for no reason, just to like see like, am I going insane? Am I going crazy? No, I'm not. Everyone's different. Intentional delay. Moving on with intentional delay, here are 3 things that I am going to keep in mind moving forward. Sometimes having an early finish with something. Number 2 is I also don't like doing serious work in increments. When I was in college, doing papers in pieces was all the rage and I just couldn't. Like, and maybe this is again one of those things where like people are just pretending to be better than they are, but like I could have swore like everyone I was around was getting things done in advance and doing things in pieces and like studying every night. Like, what? Ew. This is why my GPA in college was not that great, but whatever. I just don't like things looming over my head. Now I feel like I'm dealing with the process for a month, whereas I could be dealing with the process for like 2 days or something. You know what I'm saying? No more than 5 minutes late, no more than 5 minutes early. After reading and reflecting, I realized that it's all about your mindset when you choose to work at the last minute. If you're gonna be super anxious, you're just gonna stress yourself out, make yourself exhausted, and there's honestly no reason. When I edit this, I sincerely hope that this made sense, because I feel like it didn't, but I'm trying. I'm still in the beginning stages. Still in the beginning stages of the channel. This is only my second video. So we'll get better as time goes on. But I cannot wait for the day where I get used to telling people to subscribe, because this is just head ass, especially knowing that I don't have any subscribers. Like, it's just like, oh God.